Everybody. Welcome to general session today, March 19th. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Continuing on with Women's History Month, this morning we're honored to welcome Claire Pollard, representing the labor community. Claire is with SEIU, Service Employees International Union, and is here to speak to us a little bit about the history of women in our labor movement. And Claire, if you want to come on up and talk about the variety of things that SEIU is involved with. I know is healthcare, property service with janitors, security officers, and custodial care, maintenance, public service, more than 1 million local and state government workers, doctors, nurses. It's a whole host of things, but the history of women in the labor movement is very rich and diverse. And welcome today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here today. I want to thank the commissioners and all of you for being here today. So my name is Claire Pollard. I represent SEIU Local 1. Local 1 is a property services union, and so we represent about 50,000 janitors, security officers, other property service workers throughout the Midwest. And our sister locals in healthcare and in the public sector represent many different types of service workers, as well as some administrative, public workers, and healthcare workers. So we are a robust and growing union across the country. I'd also like to acknowledge union members, any union members here in the room today, particularly women in the labor movement. Your contributions are critical to our history and our future, so thank you. I'd really like to, just take a moment to note that throughout history, women have always made critical contributions to the labor movement, but these contributions are often absent from our history books. And so, I'd like to take a moment to review, just a few highlights with all of you in honor of Women's History Month. So, folks may not know that as early as the 1830s, women in textile mills were taking action to protest the low pay and substandard working conditions that they faced. Beginning in the 1870s, Mary Harris Jones, known as Mother Jones, traveled the country to support hundreds of strikes across America. She was instrumental in championing the causes of workers in the railroad, textile, and mining industries. In the 1930s, Rosina Tucker helped to build the first black labor union in the United States. And also that decade, Frances Perkins was appointed by President Roosevelt as the first woman Secretary of Labor. In the 1960s, Dolores Huerta co-founded the National Farm Workers with Cesar Chavez. A lot of people know about Cesar Chavez. Not that many people know about Dolores Huerta.
Right.
Our friend Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course, in 1972 founded the Women's Rights Project of the ACLU, which was focused on fighting discrimination towards women. In 1974, the Coalition of Labor Union Women was founded. Today, CLU has dozens of active chapters across the country, including one right here in Central Ohio. And then in 1990, the Justice for Janitors movement was born in Los Angeles. This started a national campaign to raise standards for low-wage service workers, the majority of whom are women, immigrants, and people of color. This led to the national wave of janitorial organizing with SEIU, which now represents more than 225,000 janitors in the U.S. And in 2010, SEIU elected its first woman international president, Mary Kay Henry, and she still serves as our president today. Women have clearly made undeniable strides in their workplaces and in their communities, but our fight for equality and for respect and dignity at work is far from over. Women are still paid 78 cents on the dollar to the man's dollar. This disparity is even larger for women of color. African American women are paid only 64 cents, and Latina women are paid just 56 cents for every dollar paid to a white man. Legislative efforts have been made at the state and federal levels to close the gender pay gap, but labor unions are still one of the most effective tools in addressing this disparity. This is why women leaders are continuing to organize in their workplaces, coming together with their coworkers to bargain strong contracts and ensure higher standards in their industries. Women make up a large and growing proportion of labor union members and have been closing the gender gap in union membership. In 2014, women made up 45% of our country's unionized workforce, and women are expected to be the majority of the American union workforce by 2025. And the union advantage for women is real. Today, women in union jobs earn about 31% more per week than women in non-union jobs. And union women experience a smaller gender wage gap. Union women earn about 89 cents on the man's dollar compared to the 78 for women as a whole. And union women are much more likely to have a pension plan and are also more likely than non-union women to receive health insurance benefits through their employers. So though union women experience a clear advantage, much more progress must be made in order for women to achieve equality in the workforce. The gender wage gap among unionized workers is lower, but a disparity still exists. Research shows that a number of policies and practices can accelerate the pace of change for women and make a powerful difference in the lives of working families. So a couple of those policies and practices, states and elected leaders, like our wonderful county commissioners here, can support the ability of unions to reach out to women and to all workers and allow them to organize. Unions can take steps to promote women's leadership, including highlighting the importance of women's contributions, like we are today, providing training on effective ways to mobilize women, encouraging and supporting more women in leadership positions at all levels, creating and strengthening mentoring programs for women, and providing dedicated space for women to voice their concerns. And then finally, businesses, elected leaders, and unions must work together to tackle occupational and gender and racial disparities by promoting gender and racial equity and access to higher paid career training opportunities as well as apprenticeships. And we must raise wages in occupations that predominantly are performed by women and people of color. People in low-wage service sector occupations particularly benefit from increases in the minimum wage, tipped wages, as well as living wage ordinances and responsible contracting policies. So thank you all again. Thanks so much to the commissioners for having me today. And I wish all of you a happy Women's History Month. Thank you.
That was so well done, and such good information facts. I would love to have a copy of that speech. Yeah, that would be.
I think it would be
really helpful.
If you want to email to all of us, that would be great. Or
I have copies as
I'll
well.
take
you
the
do.
copy. I'll take
Wonderful.
the hard copy. Right.
That would be great. And we want to get a picture of you and us and all of your members who may be here, and all of our women who are members of any of the bargaining units. Come on up. We'll get into the middle here. It'll be a little easier. And if we have any other women in the audience who are part of any of our bargaining units, come on up. Okay, Okay. Next, I'd like to have our county engineer, Cornell Robertson, come on up. We're going to celebrate the County Surveyors Week.
Yes, ma'am.
And Cornell, why don't you tell us a little bit, National Surveyors Week, which is this week. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and we'll go from there.
Commissioners, thank you very much for allowing us time to give an extra presentation. First of all, I'd like to say Happy Women's History Month to everyone. In addition to that, Happy National Surveyors Week. As you know, the surveying industry is very important to our community. In fact, to be a county engineer, one has to be a professional surveyor and a professional engineer licensed in Ohio. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Dave Pearson. Dave Pearson is our Director of Surveying and Mapping.
Great.
He has been a long-time employee at the County Engineer's Office, almost 35 years, correct, Dave?
34 and a half.
Okay, 34 and a half, a little more precise, as we surveyors and engineers are.
And it's probably a good thing.
Yes, yes. And so with that, Dave, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Dave Pearson. I'm Director of Surveying and Mapping for Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer. The third full week of March is a celebrated week for professional surveyors across the United States, known as National Surveyors Week, and has been recognized since 1984. You may not know this, but the surveying plays a vital role in our everyday lives, and the profession has been dwindling. The average surveyor today is approaching 60 years of age, and fewer individuals are getting involved in our profession. You can't build roads, bridges, sewer systems, warehousing districts without surveying. You can't prepare road maps, topographic maps, hydrographic maps, property maps without surveying. To me, it's a great profession. Many notable dignitaries of the past were surveyors, such as Lucas Sullivan, Thomas Worthington, James Kilbourne. They're some of the founding fathers of Franklin County. Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln, they're all surveyors. I personally have been a professional surveyor for 34 years at the Franklin County Engineers Office, and we currently have 10 additional professional surveyors employed with us who have worked their way through our internship program over the years to become professional surveyors, including Cornell Robertson. Today, the future of our profession is our youth. One way we can get more youth interested in our profession is through the exposure of STEM programs, outreach programs, and internships and the like. Today, as part of our outreach in National Surveyors Week, we have brought before you several students who are curious about the profession, taking them through the county agencies we collaborate with, such as yourselves, the auditor, and the recorder. We also plan to demonstrate the tools used in our profession, such as GIS mapping, GPS, drone LiDAR, and hopefully our approach will spark their interest and will spread the word to others. We were wondering if you'd like to meet the students and have your pictures taken with them.
Sure,
Thank you.
absolutely. Come on up.
Come on up.
Be all right?
Sure,
So we have a full day of activities planned for these students.
that's great.
We're going to go visit a couple of the auditors and the recorders, and then we have a trip over to one of our consultants, and then we're going to show them what we do at the engineer's office. Sure.
Okay, I'm going to take a few here. I think. Thanks, guys. Very nice.
Shall I stay up?
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. And thank you, Cornell, for that.
Our pleasure.
And on to your resolutions.
Resolution number 176-19, replacement or rehabilitation of various bridges and structures in Franklin County, Ohio, and declared necessary.
Commissioners, this is a common resolution that we have to declare various bridges necessary. It will allow us to move forward with either replacement or rehabilitation. And in particular, the bridges for this particular resolution are Chippewa Street over a tributary, Norton Road over Hell Branch Run, Hayden Run Road over Scioto River, and Reese Road over Big Walnut Creek.
We have a speaker that would like to speak. And I would remind our speakers that there is a 3-minute regulation on time, and please speak on the topic of the resolution as we request that you do. This speaker is Don Brown, representing the Bread Organization. Welcome. Thanks for
Good morning.
being here.
Good morning, Franklin County Commissioners. And happy Women's Day to all the women and all the women
Thank
of the world.
you.
My name is Don Brown. I'm a member of the Bread Organization. The Bread office is located at 404 South 3rd Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. It is an imperative and important that we do fix our bridges, for it is a pathway that will be accessible to affordable housing. I would like to tell you a story about my brother-in-law. He is 59 years old. He is a hard worker. About 4 years ago, he began struggling to make ends meet. He broke his hand in a work-related injury, which led to 3 surgeries. That really impacted his ability to work, and he ended up receiving Social Security disability. Shortly after that, his building caught on fire, and the only way out was to jump out a window. This led to a broken leg. He started working a lot of odd jobs. After that, to keep his bills paid. Last year, he found out that he had a heart condition. The medication for this is extremely expensive. He also has respiratory problems. He has to choose between paying his rent or paying for his medication or paying for rent or transportation. When he does not have the money for public transportation, he walks long distance to get to where he needs to go. This struggle has led him to food pantries, asking for help from his family members, including his 86-year-old mother. My wife and I, we help the best we can. Every month he needs help. There are so many people in this situation. We know that you are finishing up on a poverty study. Currently, there are not enough solutions in place to affect 54,000 income housing target by Affordable Housing Alliance of Central Ohio. Increasing the conference fee will lead to millions of additional dollars per year to Affordable Housing Fund as you are finishing your study. We would like to challenge you to be sure to increase the conveyance fee by a maximum of $2 allowed by the state. Will you do that? Thank you.
Thank you for speaking.
Move approval of Resolution 17619.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 176-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 177-19, 2019 resurfacing program for the Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary and hearing fixed for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019 at 9 a.m.
Commissioners, this resolution is for the annual county resurfacing program. This particular program includes 16 sections of roadways totaling 16 miles and spread out among 7 different townships. We respectfully request your approval, pending any questions.
Any further questions? Move approval of Resolution 17719.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 177-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 178-19. DLZ Ohio Incorporated consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in performing preliminary engineering for Cook Road from I-71 to Cleveland Avenue, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $90,823.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carla Marable, Communications Director with the County Engineer's Office. This next resolution seeks approval to enter into a consultant services agreement with DLZ Ohio to assist the county engineer in providing engineering services for the Cook Road corridor from I-71 to Cleveland Avenue in Clinton Township. DLZ is a certified MBE and selected via the qualifications-based selection process.
There are no questions or comments. Move approval of Resolution 178-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 178-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 179-19, preliminary allocation and final encumbrance of county motor vehicle license fee $5 funds for the city of Grove City in the amount of $667,758.
Commissioners, our next resolution, the City of Grove City has requested to use a portion of their permissive fee to improve Southwest Boulevard from Richard Avenue to Hoover Road. The county engineer has reviewed the proposed use of funds and determined that they meet the allowable use.
There are no further questions or comments. Move approval of Resolution 179-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 179-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sheriff's Office.
Resolution number 180-19, resolution authorizing an agreement with Villigent Solutions, LLC for investigative data platform software in amount of $32,750.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services, representing Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. This agreement will allow the Sheriff's Office to access commercially stored data through license plate reader technology. The third-party data will be utilized for investigative purposes over the next year on a trial basis to determine if the information gathered is beneficial to carry out the Sheriff's Office mission. With no questions, we ask approval of this resolution.
There's no further questions or comments. Move approval of Resolution 180-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 180-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 181-19, resolution authorizing the establishment of the law enforcement trust funds within the county treasury.
Commissioners, this resolution establishes a law enforcement trust fund within the county treasury for federal asset forfeitures as required by the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of the Treasury. With no questions, we ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 181-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 181-19 has been adopted.
Thank you. Emergency Management Agency.
Resolution number 182-19, resolution authorizing non-general fund supplemental appropriations related to a state Homeland Security Program grant award.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Young, representing Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. Before we discuss the resolution before you, I just want to make you aware that this is Severe Weather Awareness Week. As we're enjoying the warm weather and maybe our first taste of spring, summer storms will soon be here. More specifically, I want to bring to your attention that tomorrow, as part of Severe Weather Awareness Week, we will participate in the statewide tornado drill, sounding the sirens, the outdoor sirens, for the full 3-minute cycle at 9:50 in the morning. So this is outside the normal noon test, which will not occur. So it will be 9:50 in the morning for the full 3-minute cycle. Before you is a resolution for a non-general fund supplemental appropriation related to our 2018 State Homeland Security Grant Award. This grant is distributed by the Ohio Emergency Management Agency to a designated fiscal agent in each of the 8 Homeland Security regions within the state of Ohio. Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security acts as the fiscal agent for the Planning Region 4. As part of this responsibility, we work with the other 14 county EMA directors to identify projects that have a terrorism nexus, are regional in applicability, and fit with one of the federal categories approved by the state. The notice of funding opportunity and regional awards are typically made in the fall of each year and then require an approval of the specific projects by the Ohio EMA branch, grants branch. We've now received that approval of our projects totaling $681,258, and in order to proceed need to request this supplemental appropriation. These projects range from support to the bomb squad and hazardous material teams, individual patient trauma treatment kits, and a tabletop exercise focused upon the mass fatality plan recently completed with the Franklin County Coroner and Regional Coroners. Franklin County Emergency Management will be working with Franklin County Purchasing, and several of these individual projects will be coming back before the commissioners as part of that procurement process. Thank you, and I'll gladly answer any questions.
If there's no questions or comments, move approval of Resolution 18219.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes,
Resolution number 182-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Director.
Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board.
Resolution number 183-19. Resolution authorizing a transfer of non-general fund appropriations related to the purchase of land for the new Franklin County Crisis Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jonathan Wiley with the Adam H. Board. Commissioners, this budget-neutral resolution before you allow the Adam H. Board to buy property on Harmon Avenue in the West Edge District. We hope to use the property to either for the new crisis center that's in its early stages of planning. If it doesn't work out for that, it will definitely work out for some type of services that Adam H. will support in the future. So we kind of moved forward with the property purchase, and we're going ahead with the planning process. We've assembled a great steering committee to help us through this, and we look forward to hopefully getting down there certainly soon and maybe even digging some dirt. So with your approval, we'll be able to do that. Thank you.
Great. With no further comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 18319.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown.
Yes,
Resolution number 183-19 has
Thank
been
you.
adopted.
thank you, Jonathan. Animal Control.
Resolution number 184-19. Resolution authorizing the acceptance of a gift from Express Wash Concepts to Franklin County Dog Shelter and Adoption Center.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Kate Dixon with Animal Care and Control. And I'm here this morning to present to you an acceptance of a gift from Express Car Wash Concepts doing business as Moo Moo Car Wash in the amount of $7,542.08.
This is fantastic. I saw the pictures on Facebook. That was, must have been a fun time.
Yes, it was.
Move approval, if there's no further or any comments or questions other than my, move approval of Resolution 18419.
Second.
Moved in second and voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes,
Resolution number 184-19 has been adopted.
All of
Thank you.
Who's Commissioner O'Brown?
Yeah. It was the week for that. Well, with all the mud and everything that's been outside, my dog, there were a couple times I thought about taking her to the car wash. It was crazy. I had to take her, I took her and got her shaved this week and groomed because, I mean, it was crazy how muddy she would get. She's white, so it was really obnoxious. We finally took her and got her shaved, and then naturally everything dries up, and so she's not getting muddy anymore. But
So putting her in your car probably needed a wash too.
yeah, well, car always needs a wash, but she loves the mud. She loves the snow
Yes.
and the cold weather. On the negative 2-degree days, she loved being outside. My wife it was driving her crazy. She's like, dog didn't want to come inside, but she loved the snow and loved everything. But now she loves the mud more than anything else. So it's not good for my kitchen floor, but she does love the mud. So anyway,
Thank you.
thanks, Kay.
yeah, O'Brown just doesn't work. It's
Commissioner O'Brown, I love it.
not me, you know? Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 185-19. Resolution approving a subaward agreement with Action for Children for parenting, education, and coaching services for fathers in the amount of $90,000.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joy Bivens, Director of Franklin County Job and Family Services. For the past 4 years, our agency has partnered with Child Support and Enforcement Jewish Family Services and Goodwill Industries of Central Ohio to provide parenting and employment services for non-custodial parents through the Catalyst and Compass programs. Whereas those programs target obligors facing new orders or civil contempt charges, The Journey, a Parent's Voice pilot, aims to engage non-custodial parents, usually fathers, earlier in the process before their order is established. Under this new partnership, CSEA and Action for Children proposed to a blend of father engagement pilot with the Workforce and Employment Services already offered through their partnership with Goodwill and Jewish Family Services. Through this pilot, fathers will be assigned a designated advocate for case management, support to establish paternity, and provide consistent financial support, training, develop strong relationships with their children to overcome life barriers. Pending any questions, we would ask for your approval. Commissioners, I want to mention that this pilot is targeted to touch 60/10 of eligible fathers.
Fantastic.
This is good.
If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 185-19.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 185-19 has been adopted.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 186-19, resolution authorizing an economic development agreement with the Greater Columbus Convention and Visitors Bureau to promote Franklin County as a tourism destination in the amount of $2,575,000.
Morning, Commissioners. James Schimmer, Director of Economic Development and Planning, joined at the dais this morning by Josh Roth, our Senior Program Manager. Commissioners and President O'Brown. It was perfect. I just couldn't help myself. First resolution, we have two resolutions on that are with our trusted partners in economic development. They do work that we are really proud of, and the first one, obviously, is with Greater Columbus Convention Center. One of the amazing things that happened this year was that we were named a top 52 destination that you had to see, a worldwide destination that you had to see in 2019 by the New York Times. So the word is really getting out about Franklin County and the things that we have to offer. But for the viewing audience and for the residents of Franklin County, it's really important to understand that the money that the Greater Columbus Convention and Visitors Bureau brings into Central Ohio and to Franklin County is new money. This is money that is new to our area and very critical to our economy. So with that, I'll turn it over to Josh.
Commissioners, this resolution would authorize our first annual Economic Development Partner Contract with Experience Columbus, which is their DBA name. And that would support their work in promoting the Columbus region as a tourism destination and to continue helping the economic growth of the region. Their efforts have generated over $7 billion in annual visitor spending at local businesses and hotels, and that helps to support 75,000 jobs.
And commissioners in the audience are Brian Ross and Linda Logan this morning, if you have any questions.
You want to come
Guys
on
want to
up?
come on up?
Never shy in
Never.
promoting our
We
region.
would like to say Happy Women's History Month as well.
Thank
Linda, please come over here. And we are very appreciative of the support that you continue to give the travel economy as well. But we just wanted to thank you for your smart, open, progressive leadership. We're also very aware of many challenges that Franklin County is facing. We believe the travel economy, which does welcome 41 million visitors annually, representing $7 billion in visitor spend and supporting 68,000 jobs, also generating $48 million in bed tax annually, can play a significant role in some of those issues that you're addressing as a partner. 2018, we had a record year. We booked over 525,000 rooms into the future years, which is a 9% year-over-year increase. We had some great accolades in 2018. Expedia highlighted Columbus and Franklin County as one of the most exciting LGBTQ-friendly destinations around the world. Also, Food and Wine named Columbus and Franklin County one of the best food cities to visit in 2019. Sample of some key groups that we hosted: National Urban League, Avon, the American Psychiatric Nurses Association, and American Trucking Association. Just those four groups coming into our city brought in over $14 million in visitor spend. Some new groups that we booked for future years: the International Literacy Association for 2020, the United States Chess Federation for 2022 and 2024, the American Correctional Association, again, based on the jail that is being built here as well, 2027. So you can see we're booking pretty far out, 2027. And then Assemblies of God will be here in 2020 and 2023. Those four opportunities alone are close to $40 million in visitor spend for the future. 2019, Mr. Director Schimmer here stole one of our accolades, which we're very proud about for the community. New York Times, one of the 52 places to visit in 2019, ranked as one of the best in the Midwest on Chicago Tribune's 9 must-see destinations, and named one of the top places to visit in the U.S. by TripAdvisor. Some key groups coming in this year: the American Academy of Audiology, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and CNH, which is Case New Holland. Again, just those three organizations will bring over $16 million in direct visitor spend to us. And of course, we're very excited that the American Society of Association Executives will be here this year, bringing 5,000 attendees in, 17,000 hotel rooms, over $16 million in visitor spend. But the great thing about that is the ROI for future business, the paying forward, which could result in up to $500 million in additional business. The county has been very supportive in supporting the Next Gen, which is ASAE's top 25 future leaders that'll be here. This is the second year in a row we've hosted it. We'd like to have this become their home in Franklin County. And then the other thing we have, which is very important, how we get some of those key accolades, we actually have the Society of American Travel Writers Freelance Council coming into our city, which there are going to be about 60 freelance writers from around the country that will be here. And this is important because it allows us to showcase the city to influential groups who write about the general positive media coverage that will boost our image and awareness, not only nationally, but internationally. So we do appreciate your support and partnership, and again, we look forward to continuing to increase the prosperity and the image of Franklin County worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. To continue with what Brian was talking about, 2018 being a remarkable year for sports in Columbus and all that Franklin County did to assist those efforts. This past year, the defining moments, of course, for our community coming together to save the crew was very, very important for all of us. We hosted a hugely successful NCAA Women's Final Four that was named Best Sporting Event of the Year by Sports Travel Magazine, beating out the likes of the Super Bowl and many, many other events. We also booked the 2020 Naga Gay Softball World Series, coming back to the area for the third time within 10 years. And then looking ahead to this year, 2019 is already starting off very, very successful for us. We have a lot of returning events to Columbus this first half of the year. USA Fencing's National Championship will be back in June. We also have USA Volleyball's Adult Tournament and Convention here over Memorial Day weekend. We also, starting tomorrow, will be hosting the NCAA men's first and second rounds. We got a great draw of 8 great teams coming to Columbus tomorrow for weekend play. And then the following week, we're hosting the NCAA Division II Elite 8 for women's basketball at Ohio Dominican. So the best 8 women's basketball teams will be here for their great competition. So once again, that's just a tip of the iceberg of all that great that's happening in the community. So we continue to thank all of you for your efforts on our behalf. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my son's home from spring break. My wife was hoping to get a chance to see him this week, but instead tonight he's heading to Dayton to watch his buddy from St. Charles play for Belmont against Temple. But then this weekend he's going to be at Nationwide Arena because UC is playing in 2 games this weekend. So I don't think my wife's going to get a chance to see her son too much because he's going to be I'm going to have to make sure that she goes to the game with him, I think. But he's going to be at Nationwide Arena all weekend, I think, watching the Bearcats play. So, but he's his buddy plays for that he went to St. Charles with. was freshman of the year in the Ohio Valley Conference and is playing for Belmont tonight over in Dayton. So he's going over with Nick's parents to watch the game. So he's pretty stoked to get a chance to watch that game tonight too. A little bit of extra basketball. And he's going up to Cleveland to visit his sister this week too. So he's not going to be around. So
He's doing what he's supposed
yeah, I
to
guess
do.
he's being
Yeah.
he's hanging out. So.
So the intriguing thing about all that's going on in the convention and visitors space, sports and other, is the vibrancy of the area in which I live in Short North continues to grow in breadth and depth of what's going on with every convention that happens in that area around the convention center. It's always fun to see the different groups that you mentioned coming in and some of the mixes of some of those groups in the neighborhood as people are traveling around, walking around, trying to guess which groups they are is funny and fun, and the restaurant ownerships and managers always trying to guess what groups people are with, because there's so many groups now coming in where it used to be just one group. It's now several groups at the same time, and it's fun to watch the vibrancy, and the mixes are fun, and you just see that vibrancy of so many people. And there's more restaurants in the neighborhood now that can handle that traffic where there didn't used to be as many.
Mr. Brown, and we get pushed a lot, I'll put it that way,
Yeah.
to look at our facilities.
I
But
know.
a minor detail that I think is really fantastic is that all of those sidewalks are accessible.
I know that now, and I had been very much aware of that. And
So
they're
it's-
wider sidewalks and far more accessible.
The visitor experience has gotten much better as
Yeah.
well, so it's really a terrific thing.
Absolutely.
You know, Linda, you mentioned both softball and volleyball, and it doesn't, you know, when we're talking about NCAA basketball, and we're talking about, you know, both women's and men's basketball, and we talk about, you know, all the different major sports that we talk about, these weekends when you have both adults and kids coming in and playing volleyball and playing sports like volleyball and I think you mentioned fencing, and I mean these type of things. My family's involved in softball. We travel. My older daughter and my younger daughter travel all over the place and go to these softball tournaments, these major softball tournaments where they take up hotel rooms all over town. And my brother-in-law and his wife, they have a son who plays volleyball. They've been in Chicago, Orlando. They're going to Dallas this summer. They're playing here in town a couple of weekends as well. These major volleyball tournaments are huge, and lots of teams coming from all over the country. That's a big boost to the economy as well. And these kids playing these club sports and travel sports, hockey, basketball. I mean, all of these different sports that take up these major weekends of hotel rooms. I mean, that's a big boost.
And eating in restaurants.
Eating in restaurants.
Very fortunate because
Believe me, we spent a
Yeah.
lot of money with my older daughter playing travel softball, and now we have a younger one doing the same thing.
We're so fortunate because a lot of these groups, once they've been here, they're fans, their athletes love coming here. So we've gotten into a rotation now where they're coming every few years, and that's really very fortunate for us for the calendar. We love new business, and we also like that returning business.
Sure, absolutely.
One thing I'll add to what Commissioner O'Grady was just saying was just the return on the investment is incredible. I mean, I think it's a very simple equation. Just want to say, keep up the great work, and this is a good investment for Franklin County.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Move approval of Resolution 18619.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 186-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 187-19, resolution authorizing an economic development agreement with Rev 1 Ventures for support of the Entrepreneurial Services Provider Program in the amount of $300,000.
Commissioners, as you know, we have had a long-standing relationship, and my little theme to this morning was trusted partners. Certainly, Rev 1 is one of those trusted partners and has been engaged in entrepreneurial services startups with a number of businesses across Central Ohio. That's a 12-year partnership that we have going on. And one statistic I saw this morning that I want to mention to you is that 47% of the companies that they are working with currently are diverse women and minority businesses. So that was a goal of yours in the past, and they have been able to do well and exceed that goal as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Josh. He'll take you through the details.
Well, Commissioners, this is the second annual Economic Development Partner Contract of the year, and this contract allows Rev 1 to leverage the state's Entrepreneurial Services Provider Program on a one-to-one basis. So we are drawing in additional funds from the state for tech startup help.
And we have Christy Campbell and Tom Walker are here this morning to fill you in a little bit more.
Great, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone, and thank you to President Brown and Commissioner O'Grady and Commissioner Boyce and all of our other distinguished guests here. On behalf of Rev 1 Ventures, we are so appreciative of the work from Franklin County to continue support our effort to build great companies here in Columbus and Franklin County. Joined by my colleague, Tom Walker, our CEO, and our Director of Marketing and Community Outreach, Heather Harmon. She's waving from the back. I just wanted to highlight a couple of milestones from 2018. I have to put on my old woman glasses. And then talk a little bit more detail about our work in inclusive entrepreneurship, if that's okay with you. So we had another milestone year in 2018. We invested more money in more companies than ever before. So $13.1 million went to 36 unique companies. And one of the most exciting things about that is that about half of that funding, a little bit more than that, went to follow on to companies that are growing. So seeing those companies continue to get traction is really exciting. In addition, those clients generated more than $123 million in revenue last year alone, and also attracted about $157 million in capital to the region. So good growth there as well. We also started to see some of that full circle cycle that we like to see, and including exits from those companies. One of the most notable exits that we saw was Sarepta Therapeutics, which licensed and then optioned to acquire MyoNexus, which you may have heard is a spinoff from Nationwide Children's, doing really, really innovative and disruptive work around gene therapies, especially around limb-girdle muscular dystrophy. So they acquired MyoNexus for $165 million and have said that they plan to relocate about 100 employees from the parent company to the region. So that's really, really exciting.
And when Christy uses the word exit, it's a really good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, because then you have entrepreneurs who are able to give back to the community and do it again, right? A couple other things I'll call out. Beyond just the work that we do directly through our investor startup studio model and the companies we add to that program every year, we're also out in the community educating thousands of entrepreneurs on the basics of building their business, how to access resources, including referrals that we make daily to other entrepreneur support organizations. So I think last year that was about 600 partners that we made referrals for. And I'll talk a little bit about our inclusive entrepreneurship work, because it's something that's really near and dear to all of our hearts. As Director Schimmer mentioned, last year 50% of the investments that we made, so 50% of the 36 companies we invested in, have either a woman or a minority founder or inventor, and 38% of the money invested went to those companies. And as you know, that's really in stark contrast to national statistics, where for women founders, they receive anywhere from 3 to 9% of venture capital, depending on the study that you look at.
That's it?
Yes,
It's
and
that
that's a
low?
significant increase in the last 5 years. And then African American founders obviously fare much worse, with about 1% nationally. So we're really excited to see the growth, but we also know that there's a lot more work to do. And I'll just mention a couple of our programs that are a very intentional focus on improving access to women and minorities. The one that you know about and probably near and dear to your heart is our partnership to support Forward Cities, Franklin County. And we're excited that later in this year we will identify a couple of communities that we can then test and ultimately grow and find additional funding to support those efforts, very focused on minority and African American founders. The second partnership I'll call out is support of OSU's Reach for Commercialization program. If you haven't heard of that, it's a cohort-based, women-focused program to help educate and support researchers and postdocs at the university who may not have thought about commercializing their innovations. We're seeing some really good progress from that in invention disclosures and patent filings.
Right.
So really excited about that. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. And then finally, I'll just highlight a couple of our focus strategies for the future. We will continue to provide direct support for catalyzing inclusive entrepreneurship. In addition to our broader outreach to help to attract diverse founders, we actually have a dedicated team that's working with our companies to help them diversify their own teams. So from day one, we ask them to be thinking about and putting in place strategies to how do you identify diverse co-founders, attract diverse, especially diverse technical talent. So really excited to start to see that take place and start to grow. In addition, you'll see us continue to add and grow capital in the region. And you'll obviously see Tom out in the market looking for ways to grow that. Larger funds, dedicated partnerships with our existing investors and corporate partners. We're also focused on continuing to tie in startups with corporate innovators in the region. And you probably heard some of those announcements in the past year. The J.M. Smucker company is a good example of an Ohio company that wants to engage with, partner with, and potentially even at some point invest in startups that we're working with. And then lastly, I'll highlight something I know you've all heard us talk about. We're kind of a broken record in this area, is continuing to grow and provide infrastructure for companies, both IT and the life sciences companies. So for us to be able to attract and retain companies like the MyoNexuses of the world, they need very specific startup space. They need very specific wet labs and life sciences capabilities. So we're out advocating for a new and larger space for our companies to live in, as well as a broader innovation district. So again, thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to working together.
I just want to thank the commissioners. It's always our pleasure to be here, and you can see me smiling behind Christy. I'm really proud for you to get to know more of our team, and you've helped us build Rev 1. We're having great success, and thank you very much for the partnership.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
Great stuff. If there's no further comments or questions, then I will move approval for Resolution 18719.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 187-19 has been adopted.
Thank you for your time this morning, Commissioners.
Thank
Appreciate that.
you.
Okay.
Justice policy and programs.
Resolution number 188-19, resolution authorizing receipt of the Franklin County FY 2018 Stop Violence Against Women Act Block Grant Award.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administrator. Hope Foster with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Today, the resolution that I have before you is for authorization to accept our 2018 Stop Violence Against Women Act Block Grant in the amount of $607,925.16. That grant is a award from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services as a pass-through from the Federal Office of Violence Against Women.
All right. If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 18919. Second.
188.
188, I'm sorry, 188. I should put my glasses on. 18819.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 188-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 189-19, Resolution authorizing 10 sub-grant awards and contracts for services to provide victim services and enhance law enforcement and prosecution under the FY 2018 Stop Violence Against Women Act Block Grant in the amount of $498,109.98.
That is correct. So the second resolution before you is just give us the opportunity to allocate the award appropriately with our sub-grantees. The grant funds, again, will be used to enhance prosecution, law enforcement, and victim services targeted to female victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and dating violence. So pending any questions, I respectfully request approval of this award.
All right, so barring any other questions, then I will move approval this time of Resolution 189-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 189-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Bo.
I think so.
Community partnerships.
Resolution number 190-19, resolution authorizing a one-year contract with Nationwide Children's Hospital to provide mental health and suicide prevention services in select Franklin County public schools and clinics in the amount of $450,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dana McCrary, Community Partnerships. This first resolution supports the work with Nationwide Children's Hospital of providing ongoing mental health and suicide prevention services at select Franklin County public schools, providing for the integration of mental health services in primary care clinics, and so not really treating mental health services as an other service, but really integrating it into their primary care practices. So this work would provide clinical mental health services at 50 Franklin County public school districts. Pending any questions, I would respectfully request approval of this resolution.
I will move approval of Resolution 190-19.
Second, are we going to have a speaker or no?
For the Star.
She's for,
Star House.
yeah, it's just put in the wrong
Got you. Okay, I thought she was.
location.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 190-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 191-19, resolution authorizing a contract with Primary One Health to provide health care services to low-income, underinsured, or uninsured Franklin County residents in the amount of $475,000.
This resolution will support the continued work of Primary One Healthcare to increase low-income women's access to obstetrical care, to decrease the number of babies born with low birth weights, and to continue providing screening and follow-up care for women who have abnormal pap smear exams. So pending any questions, I would respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 191-19.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 191-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 192-19, resolution authorizing a one-year contract with the Charitable Pharmacy of Central Ohio for access to health care and affordable prescriptions in the amount of $65,000.
This resolution will support the Charitable Pharmacy and the amazing work that they do, leveraging the investment of the commissioners to provide additional medications, medication counseling to thousands of low-income residents in Franklin County. So in 2019, Charitable Pharmacy expects to reach 1,600 patients with this funding. They will provide a total, they will fill a total of 60,000 prescriptions for a market value of $5,040,000, all with a $65,000 investment. So very impressive. If there are no other questions or comments, I request approval of this resolution.
Thanks for the additional information on this.
You're welcome.
So move approval of Resolution 19219.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 192-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 193-19. Resolution authorizing a one-year contract with Star House to provide drop-in services to youth experiencing homelessness in the amount of $150,000.
This resolution, Commissioners, will continue our partnership with Star House, who really do amazing work reaching homeless youth throughout Franklin County. In 2019, Star House anticipates being able to reach 1,250 homeless youth ages 14 to 24, providing case management, therapy, health care, food, clothing, on and on and on. I'm not going to get into too much detail because it is my great pleasure this morning to welcome Ann Bischoff, who is the Chief Executive Officer for Star House. Ann, please tell us more about the work that you're doing as well as the exciting new work that you're doing in partnership with the City of Columbus.
Thank you, Dana. Good morning, Commissioners, staff, and everyone here. Star House's goal is to work with our community to break young people ages 14 to 24 out of homelessness and onto a pathway towards surefire stability. We do outreach to the streets, and once youth are at our drop-in center, we connect them with those basic needs: hygiene, food, clothing, and then therapy, health care, transportation, access to jobs, housing, all of the things that they need to get on their feet. We served 1,199 individual youth last year, and that doesn't include their small children. 20% of our guests have children in tow, so we provide services for them as well. We're seeing results. We know that among those young people who are with us for 3 months or longer, 86% are obtaining employment, 74% are obtaining housing, but we also know that there's more work to do to ensure that that sticks. And so that's why our 5-year strategic plan that we passed back in October includes 3 important initiatives that we invite the community to join us in doing. Number 1, we're seeing greater demand for our services in other locations throughout Franklin County. One in particular is Westerville. They reached out to us and said, we need drop-in services, and so we anticipate that a satellite will be opening there within the next year. The second thing is jobs. We have an opportunity at Star House through our new StarWorks program. It's a pilot workforce development program for youth to engage in employment right on site through assembly type work, with the goal that we connect them with employer partners and in-demand fields outside of our 4 walls. The last initiative addresses affordable housing. We know that there's a crisis in our community, so through Community First and in partnership with Finance Fund, as soon as this fall, we'll be opening the Carol Stewart Village in Franklinton. This is not just housing, because we know housing alone doesn't solve homelessness for anyone. It takes relationships and resources to sustain it. And so all on one site in Franklinton, we'll have affordable housing, access to jobs on site, training opportunities, health care, therapy, and most importantly, mentorships, staff who are there to guide young people along to surefire stability. So we're very grateful to Franklin County for your continued support that helps us sustain our current programming and begin moving forward and going deeper to serve this population. Thank you.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Star House is important.
amazing.
Yeah, it's an important component of our community, and
Absolutely.
it's sad that the numbers are increasing the way they are. But you guys are doing great work.
Yeah, I appreciate the extra data too, because one of the things that came up in briefing is just what's happening to them, post sort of their Star House experience, and when we're going into 86% employment, 76% housing. That's definitely shows that we're moving the needle some. So with that group, so great work.
Thanks. Move approval of Resolution 19319.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 193-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Resolution number 194-19, resolution authorizing a one-year contract with the Center for Family Safety and Healing to provide assistance to victims of domestic violence in the amount of $230,000.
This resolution, Commissioners, will assist men and women who are victims of domestic violence in obtaining civil protection orders, also helping them to secure support services such as assistance with housing, employment, filing divorce proceedings, representation in child custody matters. So pending any questions, I would request approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 194-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 194-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 195-19, resolution authorizing a contract with Ohio Health Corporation to provide wellness services for the Franklin County Cooperative Health Improvement Program in the amount of $3,649,457.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jody Lees, Assistant Director of HR. In the audience today, I would like to recognize Ryan Sledge and Tricia Aerosmith from Ohio Health, and Ryan will be stepping up to the mic and making a few comments later on. But the resolution before you today authorizes a contract with Ohio Health Corporation for employer health and wellness services. The services are provided through Ohio Health's Employer Services Division. The contract continues many of the aspects of our award-winning Thrive On program that we've offered for the past several years. It also expands the list of available on-site classes, and we're able to tailor those classes to the agency or location or audience, which is a real good thing. You know, some agencies cannot support an hour program, so we're able to reduce that to 30 minutes and still get the core of that program through. Also recognizing that the Thrive On program provides wellness services to over 40 agencies within the cooperative. Ohio Health is offering the services of a wellness coordinator. And so utilizing data that we have collected over the past several program years, as well as the results of a recent employee satisfaction and engagement survey, the wellness coordinator will work with each agency to develop a roadmap, if you will, for that agency to develop programming that really supports the needs within their own population. So we're really excited about that, being able to tailor more of the programming. At this time, I'd like to invite Ryan up to say a few words on behalf of Ohio Health.
Great. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for allowing me to be here today. Really, as Jody said, my name is Ryan Sledge. I'm here from Ohio Health, and on behalf of Ohio Health and our Employer Services Division, wanted to first just express our appreciation for being able to join. Really looking forward to the opportunity to partner closer together. You know, we support wellness for lots of organizations and employers, and it's for a host of reasons that organizations really want to champion this wellness work, and we know that the Franklin County Cooperative is really passionate around health improvement for their employees and spouses, that they believe in doing the right things and measurable change, and so that's why it's especially exciting for us to partner together with like-minded organizations that are believing the same thing. And so, again, we're just excited to be able to have that opportunity, really appreciate the support, and want to make sure that we're driving engagement, but also those measurable changes over time. And I'd be remiss if I didn't really say a couple of words around the great work that's been done already. So this isn't a situation where we're coming in to start something from the ground up, but there really is a strong foundation from the Thrive On program that's been in place already. So certainly would commend all of you for that work, and again, very excited to be able to partner together and help support that work and take it to even another level. So thank you.
Thank you.
So pending any questions or comments, I request approval of this resolution.
Well, if there are no questions or comments, I would move approval of Resolution 195-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Resolution number 195-19 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners. And actually, before I step down today, I would like to invite Jessica McCurdy, our internal Thrive On Wellness Administrator, to step up with an award that the Thrive On program received earlier this year from the Healthy Business Council of Ohio. Each year, HOBC recognizes Ohio employers who demonstrate commitment to employee wellness and offer comprehensive worksite wellness programs. And programs such as Thrive On are scored on the extent that they facilitate and encourage employee health, enhance productivity, which we're always looking to do, and ensuring a healthy work environment. And there are 3 levels of awards: gold, silver, and bronze. And the Thrive On program accepted a gold medal on behalf of the commissioners just at the award in January. So at this time, we would like to present the award to the board.
Right.
This
There you
is
go.
not the first time
No.
we've been awarded this Healthy Work Site award, and it goes to the work that you and the whole team in your department have done, and to our employees who and their families who have really spent a good deal of their time and energy doing the work of keeping themselves more healthy and well. And so, it's a testament to all of us in Franklin County who take health and wellness pretty seriously, and to measurable results that we are now going to see more robustly. So I think this is great, and thank you for your good work. And do you have a place you would like to display this, or do you want us to display this on the 26th floor in
That
the
is
briefing? I mean,
your
it's-
call. We certainly can display it in our offices, but would certainly welcome the opportunity for the commissioners. I know you have 1 or 2 of our awards being displayed in the briefing room already, so it's really up to you. So
we'll talk.
We'll talk.
It's rare that the board actually wins awards. It's usually the
It's the
staff
staff.
making us look good and winning awards on our behalf.
It's your great work, so thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure representing you guys, so thank you very much.
Thanks for all the great work you guys do.
Purchasing.
Resolution number 196-19, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $1,776,532.42.
There is Megan.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry, Balanier, representing the Purchasing Department. The resolution before you requests your approval of 90 purchase orders. Included in this resolution are 31 eligible POs. These are POs in which small and emerging business enterprises are likely to participate. Of these POs, 16 were awarded to SEBEs, which is 52% of the eligible PO volume. These 16 POs total $301,772.23, which is 87% of the eligible PO dollar value. These purchase orders included in this resolution have been pre-certified as to the availability of funds by the county auditor. Pending any questions, we recommend their approval.
With no comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 196-19.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 196-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you,
Megan.
Board of Commissioner resolutions.
Resolution number 197-19. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into an agreement with MJ Martin Incorporated to provide transition and activation services in conjunction with the new correction center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. As you are well aware, we're in the process of building a new correction center, and as part of the new correction center, not only is this a new facility, but it is a new model of supervision with direct supervision, and with that comes the need for appropriate training for the deputies, new policies and procedures, not only for the facility itself, but for direct supervision. And then also ensuring that we have someone who has done this before to help with the transition tasks that are necessary as we gear up toward the move to the new facility. So this resolution would authorize the administrator to enter into a contract with Mark Martin Incorporated. We've worked with him as part of the design team already, and he is respected nationally, has done this before, and would recommend, pending any questions, your approval of this resolution.
If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 19719.
Second. Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 197-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 198-19, resolution authorizing an application to the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas for employment of Bricker and Eckler to perform services associated with arbitrage rebate and yield restriction compliance, and to serve as bond counsel and provide advice in public finance matters as needed during 2019.
Commissioners, the next three resolutions are all in regard to the process for legal counsel, and they all involve a two-step process. So the next three resolutions are in regard to the initial resolution to authorize the prosecutor to make application to the court, and then we will be back in front of you shortly with, in the next couple of weeks, with the resolutions authorizing the actual contracts for each of these entities. The first resolution, as the clerk read, is with Bricker and Eckler to perform services primarily associated with arbitrage, rebate, and yield restriction, but also additionally to represent as needed on bond counsel and advice in public finance matters. Pending any questions, would recommend your approval.
If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 19819.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Abstain.
Resolution number 198-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 199-19, resolution authorizing an application to the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas for employment of Frost Brown Todd to serve as bond counsel and provide advice in public finance matters during 2019.
Commissioners, pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution for Frost Brown Todd on bond counsel and public finance matters.
If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of 19919.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Yes. Resolution number 199-19 has been adopted. Resolution number 200-19, resolution authorizing an application to the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas for employment of Ice Miller to serve as legal counsel regarding labor relation matters during calendar year 2019.
And Commissioners would recommend passage of this resolution with Ice Miller to provide, again, application to the court to provide representation in regard to labor matters, primarily collective bargaining agreements, negotiations with the labor unions, and representation in workers' compensation matters.
If there's no other comments or questions, move approval of Resolution 219.
Second.
Moved and seconded in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Resolution number 200-19 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any journalizations?
There are none today, Commissioner.
We are adjourned.